Hi, this is Darcy, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Food for Your Life, Food for Your Soul. I wanted to do a brief introduction video. Been meaning to do this actually for a couple weeks, but I've been really busy. Imagine that. So anyways, I just want to let you know I actually had done YouTube content in the past. I think it was around 2015, and did some videos back then, and then I think sometime during the pandemic, when YouTube was going around cutting everybody's channel off, knocking a lot of people out, like ending accounts abruptly, one of my accounts got cut. I think it was controversial topics of Bible prophecy, and I think YouTube just kind of axed that content. So my whole channel got deleted, and I didn't really figure this out until I think last year. I tried to look back on it, couldn't find it. I tried to start up again on this channel, and I'm going to be perfectly honest, I'm a pretty busy person. Married for quite a while, quarter of a century to the same man, and I have a toddler who is 3.5, about to be 4, and so I've had my hands really busy with that, and I work a full-time job, and I've been trying to do gardening and trying to teach myself, how-to skills like canning and preserving food. And so I've got my hands on a lot of little things, but I did want to get back to some YouTube content and start posting again. So a little bit about my background. Anyways, I'm gonna say I kind of have gone through what I'm going to call a wellness journey. In 2004-ish, I had a very traumatic experience that negatively had an impact on my health, and I will say I was not really taking very good care of my body. I got very, we'll say, used to convenience things, especially fast food, and I was drinking a lot of soda, eating a lot of McDonald's for pretty much breakfast, lunch, not really eating well oftentimes for meals at dinner, and really wasn't doing much to take care of my body. And between that and having some hormone issues and dealing with PCOS and infertility and stuff, had gained a lot of weight, that by 2015 I was diagnosed with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease that actually progressed to stage 1 of NASH. And so that kind of started me into looking into trying to do things more naturally, tried essential oils, stopped drinking soda, was just trying to look for healthier alternatives, kicked fast food. But I was still having problems with kind of weight loss, and having problems with pre-diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol, you name it. And I think a lot of that also ties back into trauma in terms of how our bodies tend to have issues. Like if we've experienced traumatic experiences, sometimes our bodies internalize it, and it's not very, it isn't uncommon for people who have, let's say, trauma to also have issues with metabolic diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, that whole cluster of things. It's kind of like it's all kind of wrapped up together. So I started doing some stuff with some gardening back in the day. I started finding an interest in aquaponics. I was trying to, I'm going to call myself a lazy gardener. I live in the Central Valley of California. It gets awful hot. I wanted a way to water my garden without having to put much work into it. So I built PVC greenhouses, and with that had some basic goldfish and tried to do some lazy gardening that way, and I had some success. And then, I kind of progressed from the PVC greenhouses to something a little bit more permanent, getting polycarbonate greenhouses, and kind of developed that. And then this past year decided I was tired of things like Bermuda grass, so I wanted to continue with my lazy gardening, and have now tried to convert things into some raised beds that have some protection, hopefully from the Bermuda grass we will see. I mean, I have landscape fabric and cardboard and wood and things kind of have many different layers before I actually get up to a soil layer on my raised beds. And so I'm trying to do some of that stuff to kind of make my life a little bit easier, where I can kind of garden and grow some food, hopefully for use for my family, and have a little bit of a healthier lifestyle and rely less on processed foods, rely less on the grocery store selling me the GMO food product of the week with God knows what pesticide, herbicide, whatever they're putting on the food these days. I mean, I honestly don't trust it. And with some of my health conditions, I kind of feel like the more that I can eat naturally, the healthier I will be. So that's kind of been a little bit of my journey to now kind of wanting to do kind of this more holistic health approach with gardening and trying to preserve. And of course, we're in a state of, inflation. So how can I kind of do this and be frugal and wise with my money and be a good steward? And, so it's been a little bit of a journey there. And then the other thing, I still have an interest in, studying the Bible and my relationship with God. And I'm no longer teaching adult Sunday school. I did that for a period of time until I had a baby, and then I just didn't have time for it. So I thought maybe if I do some YouTube content that way too, I kind of feel like that might still fulfill some of that desire to kind of like want to be a teacher and to be able to teach people some practical things about the Bible, because I just kind of feel like a lot of pastors these days are very topical in their sermons, and I don't really feel like there's much depth there. I mean, luckily I attend a church where I have a pastor that goes verse by verse for the most part, and I know of another pastor nearby that my husband and I interact with, because we have our kid in the Awana program, and he's a verse by verse pastor too, but not everybody has that luxury these days. And so I thought maybe, doing a YouTube channel that kind of is more about my passions. Like, I don't really care about the algorithms and all of that stuff. I'm not doing it for that. I'm just kind of doing it for maybe somebody out there who might be able to benefit from content. So that's a little bit kind of about me, and just to kind of keep things kind of real. And I know, like, not everybody has, extensive budget or means or money to do a lot of things, and trying to figure out how can we kind of help people where they're at to do what they're able to do. For many years, I'm going to say, my husband and I didn't necessarily have the financial resources that we have today that I'm able to do a little bit more, but I still try to do things frugally too. Recently I built some raised beds where my father-in-law had some discarded roofing panels that were pretty well beat up, and I was able to do a pretty long bed, and I put those facing a fence that I knew I was going to cover with shade cloth so you couldn't see the ugly panels. And then I did have the resources where I was able to buy 6 prettier panels to put on the side that could be seen, and make it a little bit more presentable that way. But like I said, not everybody has those resources. But I also have raised beds that I made from old wood that kind of look like they're falling apart, but they're still functional. So like I said, it may be trying to figure out what materials that you have that you can use to try to start somewhere if you're looking at trying to do your own gardening. And then, I hopefully can provide some resources too when it comes to studying the Bible or getting into God's Word, if that's your thing too, or learning about how do I, can chicken broth, for instance. So a lot of this is me kind of on the front end of learning about these things and trying to figure out preserving. And I don't want to call myself necessarily a prepper or homesteader. I don't know if I kind of fit all those descriptions yet. I'm kind of more of a, experimenter, researching, trying to see what's going to fit for me or not, and deciding why not share it with YouTube too and put my life on display for the world to see, and probably get a lot of negative feedback from some of y'all, but I really don't care at this point. I mean, I've been blasted in the past on social media, and like, I think you have to be pretty thick-skinned to survive YouTube criticism. But anyways, but that's a little bit about me, and I will try to kind of show you guys a little bit of what I've done in my journey so that you can kind of see where I'm coming from and where I hope to be going. So anyways, God bless and have a good day.